Hi, and welcome to Reflections of You, where we make items to spread joy. We're going to use an old paper 6x6 paper pad. We're going to need a card base, some money, 3 $5 bills actually, twine, and some scrap paper. So I'm just going to pull out some great birthday paper from an old 6x6 paper pad that I think shouts birthday for a girl. This way all my paper will coordinate with the colors. And I've also pulled out some scrap paper that matches the colors on the paper. So you'll really only need about 4 6x6s for this project. And this is a great way to use up your 6x6 pads. So to create our background, you're going to first notice that I cut the whole size of the front of an A2 card. But what we're going to cut it down to actually is 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And this will give a nice white border around our card. And this is actually going to end up being the mat to our background, and it's going to highlight our mat because one of the colors is pink in here. And if you have a hole in the top of your 6x6 paper pad, you'll want to make sure that this is what you cut off first. And we're going to cut this down to 5 inches by 3 3/4 to fit on our mat and have a border. So you're going to pick out the color of paper that goes with the paper that you have pulled out of your stash. And next, we're going to get another piece of scrap paper because I'm a big proponent of let me use my scraps. And we're going to cut this down to 2 1/2 by 2 1/2 square. And this will also be the base for our next piece of paper. And basically we're going to make this card have some interest with some backgrounds. But you can do your background however you think would be best. The main technique of this card is to create the money candles. But for my next sheet of paper, I am going to cut that down to 2 1/4 by 2 1/4 to have that same border around my card. Next, we will use another scrap of paper and cut this again down to 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. And I will save all my scraps to create other cards. And then again, we'll cut down the pattern paper to 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. And this will just give us, again, like I said, interest in background. It's so hard, I think, to come up with the teenager's card. Especially since most teenagers are all interested in something different nowadays. So I just think this will be a fun card to get, and they'll be able to pull out their candles, which will be the money. So we're going to adhere this down, and then I'll be back for the next step. You will cut 3 pieces of paper to be the candle. They are 2 inches long and 1.5 inches wide. And you will put money as part of the candle. To start out, you can roll up your money by putting the twine in. The twine will actually be the candle wick. So this is one way to do this, is put the twine in, roll it up, and then place your paper around your money and make your candle. And you'll just secure the paper with some score tape, but don't put paper on the money. If you forget, you can again roll up your paper using your pen to kind of start that curve move. Put in your money, and when you put in your money in the paper, you want to leave a little bit at the bottom. And then you want to also make sure the numbers are towards the front. So if it's a 5 or 10, it's towards the front, and that you'll adhere it down with some score tape. And I had cut some score tape off to the side so I could quickly pull it and adhere it. So that's a little tip. Now, I forgot to roll the wick up in this one. So I will cut the twine, and I will use a little stick. You can use a skewer stick. You could use a cuticle stick, whatever would be best for you. And you can just kind of poke that down, and this takes a few minutes if you forget, but then you don't have to start all over. That's another quick tip. And you'll see as I poke this down, you want to try to catch that twine, and it will finally go in there, but it can be quite a challenge. So try to remember to get your wick in before you roll up your money. Again, you can make so many different cards with this, with money, and then the recipient can just take the money out of the candles. Once you have all your candles made, you will adhere that twine on the back side of the candle, and then you will adhere the candles with sticky strip on the back of the candles too. Not only will this hold the candle paper more in place, but it will give it sturdy adhesion on top of the card. And then you'll just place your money down. And what I like about this card is there's no sentiment on the outside. We're just letting those candles that are the money candles steal the show, and inside we can put our sentiment. So thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoy this quick, fast card that you could make for any teenager or any person. And have a blessed day. And if you like this, give it a thumbs up. Thanks again.